Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, and today we have an episode that is truly going to be explosive. Uh, Today I have with me Mike Hallock, partner at
Well,
Leavitt Laskey and president of the Chicago chapter of CLM. Mike, how's it going today?
Tony, it's great to see you. The first thing I was going to say was to do the magic trick with your wallet starting on fire that you did to me earlier. So I'm glad that got that out of the way because that was awesome.
So remind me, we met, was it at if you're in Chicago, I'm gonna take a wild guess that it was at SIR, right? Insurance Researchers in Chicago, or was it at one of the other conferences this spring?
Oh, geez. Well, let's see. I spoke at CLM in Dallas on I'm usually doing catastrophic loss,
Uh-huh.
runaway verdict presentations. I do a lot of presentations on battery fires. I think I didn't tell you this, but well, I'm the president of the Chicago CLM chapter, and our last event was at the Chicago Magic Parlor.
Oh, hold on. You mean the Chicago Magic Lounge?
Yeah, there's two, right? There's the Chicago Magic Parlor and the Chicago Magic Lounge.
Okay, so I have
Uh,
not been to Chicago Magic Parlor. I'm gonna have to research that.
well,
Uh,
they're both, I've been to both of them and they're both wonderful. There's one downtown and then one in Logan Square, I want to say. Uh,
this is the one that's a little bit more kind of north, the Chicago Magic Lounge, and it is
okay.
a fairly new facility built, I want to say 2017, 2018, and is dedicated 100% to Magic. It's open 7 days a week. And it really is an amazing. I've been there 3 times over the last couple of months, and I am working on auditioning.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
yes, and very excited for that. So how was the CLM event at the Chicago Magic
Well, this one was at the parlor.
Parlor? Okay,
Um,
how was it?
Oh, it was wonderful. So, we sold it out as we have for our last
Mhm.
three or four CLM events. I heard from several professionals that it was the best event that they attended. We've had great success in Chicago with the CLM chapter selling out events.
Fantastic.
Um, Everything in the loop. We have one upcoming at the Chicago Fire FC match.
Yeah, this won't come out in time because I think that was like next week.
Okay.
How big is the Chicago CLM and CLM chapter?
Well, I'm supposed to say that anyone who is in Chicago in an insurance professional is a member of the Chicago CLM
Okay,
chapter.
hold on. My understanding of CLM, and I've only been to a CLM conference once, and it was the national, uh,
Yeah.
maybe 2019 or so. It was, I want to say Orlando, Florida. I don't remember, but uh, I was blown away by the quality of the event, and at the same time, I never went back because it's all attorneys.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
That was my experience.
Um, yeah, well, I guess that's kind of an occupational hazard probably for both of us, but I haven't found that to be the case at the Chicago events, although we have an event in July with Chicago pitching for the Parks, which is the nonprofit that
Okay. Uh-huh.
takes care of all the Chicago parks or all the parks in Cook County, actually, I believe. And so, the more attorneys we can get getting their hands dirty, the better. But uh, that one will have happy hour afterwards at Happy Camper.
Fantastic.
So I want to let everyone know that if they don't want to get their hands dirty, to be sure to meet us at Happy Camper afterwards in Old Town because that'll be a blast. That's one of the
So,
more popular
so
pizza spots in Chicago.
Oh, fantastic. So at least the Chicago chapter of CLM is focused on insurance professionals of all types.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have underwriters, brokers come to our events. Obviously, I mean, it's the Windy City, right? So there's going to be attorneys. You can't throw a stone without hitting an attorney in Chicago. But um, But yeah, it's a great group of professionals, and we were speaking about national. I mean, the national event in Dallas this year was absolutely wonderful. Wonderful at the Gaylord Hotel. A lot of interesting panels, and that's kind of a colleague of mine, Diana Dearman at Liberty Mutual. We actually got together at that event and we started talking about creating a national emergency response team.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. So yes, tell me about that, about this new national response task force that you're building.
Yeah, no, thanks for that question. So, um, in the last decade or so, law firms, McCoy Levitt Laskey is the nation's premier fire and explosion firm. We do fire and explosion cases in all 50 states, and of course, um, based on a
No explosions though, only fire. Okay, continue.
you can't do that too much. I love it. I love it. Every time you do it, it's awesome. And and after we stop recording, you gotta teach that to me. Um, but anyways, but yeah, so we want to the plaintiff's bar collaborates on everything that they do.
They're
I
extremely
mean,
well organized and extremely well funded.
incredibly well organized, very well funded, and you the depositions, whether you're in California or Chicago, I mean, you'll notice that they're using the same script, right? So, a lot of what we want to do with the 24/7 emergency response team is coordinate our best practices, run tabletop exercises at CLM national events, and create teams so that we're not always playing catch up with the plaintiff's bar, so that the defense attorneys are on the scene at the same time as the plaintiff's attorneys, so that the defense attorney experts are on the scene before the plaintiff's attorneys,
That'd be
and so
amazing.
yeah, and create on working on those structures and collaborate. It's not uh, I don't have an acrimonious relationship with really um, any of the defense bar. So in terms of working together, I mean, obviously, at a nationwide firm like ours, you work with attorneys across the country, but with other attorneys from other law firms to aggressively defend cases, and to stop playing catch up with the plaintiff's bar.
Uh,
So that's the goal.
okay, so attorneys for whom now I'm guessing my listenership doesn't have a ton of attorneys, but it does have a lot of claims professionals.
Yeah.
So any attorneys that this gets forwarded to, uh, any CLM members that now that those I guess will see this because CLM will get excited about us chatting about CLM and probably like comment on it. So for any attorney, any defense attorney listening to this, why should they get involved in the task force?
Well,
And what are you guys still looking for? Because it sounds like it's a pretty new task force.
yeah, no, that's a great question. Well, and first of all, I should say that the task force is comprised of carriers and insurance and attorneys. So it's
Perfect.
probably actually there's probably more people from the carrier side,
Okay.
because it's really about working hand in glove on these emergency response, rapid response teams. Like I mentioned, we already have 100 members, but I'm not. But I think the entire industry um, is should have this mindset. If not, they're they're already looking for ways to practice aggressively, to practice in this aggressive mindset. And so I think people can benefit on the carrier and the attorney side. And if that's something that they're interested in, just to, as you know, every insurance professional can join CLM for free, and then obviously most of the law firms probably already have memberships. But
Mhm.
yeah, just to sign up for the team, we haven't our first meetings in a couple weeks, and any insights you can provide, right? We have a steering committee formed, and we have subcommittees for trucking, property, cyber, and workers' comp. And if anyone thinks they can provide any insight or could benefit from the task force, would could provide some benefit to these tabletop exercises that we're going to conduct at the national events, then feel free to reach out to me or to anyone at CLM. We'd love to have you.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right.
You look tired. Was that
No, 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 no,
this is the Windy City. I have to warn you, the attorneys in this town,
no, no,
we'll
no.
just talk for
We're good. We're good. So, um, Levitt and Lasky, you started the conversation before we started recording, talking about you guys are a specialist in the largest firm that does fire and explosion catastrophic losses. I had no idea that that was a specialty. So that's interesting. That is very interesting. So what does that mean? Does that mean any big fire or yeah, where is it that what type of claims is it that fall into this fire and explosion umbrella?
Yeah, I appreciate your question, Tony. McCoy Levitt Laskey is the nation's premier catastrophic fire and explosion law firm, which means that we handle fire and explosion cases across the country and abroad, actually. So, what does that mean? That means the carriers uh, and our clients, larger manufacturers, particularly in the steel industry, oil and gas, retain us to defend their cases across the country. So recently I was in rural Illinois for a hog farm explosion. There's particular components of the feed that goes to pigs in hog farms, which increases the level of methane and causes ignition to occur with any spark, and that was a catastrophic loss. What I did was assemble a team of an origin and cause expert, an engineer specializing in this type of case, and we attended the scene within 24 hours, dug through the rubble of the hog farm explosion, and we're able to determine that our water heater was not even connected to the gas line. So
Okay.
we can avoid a catastrophic loss in those types of cases by assembling the correct teams. We do, I mean, it's 2025, so LI battery fires are a very common issue, that those cases pre-suit and go into litigation all over the country. That's a particular area of interest to me, just on based on the chemistry of it's essentially, well, it's a chemical fire. I mean, the chemistry of the Li battery, the manufacturing of the Li battery is what will determine whether it overheats or potentially causes a fire. So, retaining a law firm with the background and the context for the experts in those particular areas is, I think, incredibly important in 2015 or 2025 and 2015 probably. And I'll tell you, and the hog farm explosion is going to be a different type of engineer, type of origin and cause expert than the battery fire. So it's interesting work, and it's not there's more and more fires related to Li batteries. So it's an exciting area of the law to be in right now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So normally I kind of dig into people's LinkedIn and talk
Ah,
a little bit about
let's
their
do it.
background, right? So you go to Arizona State for a BA in political science, and actually followed through and going to law school. I can't tell you how many people I run into that got that poli sci or history or English degree and then didn't end up in law school.
Oh, that's funny.
So you end up getting a degree in law.
All right, Tony, I gotta say I'm offended. I went to the University of Arizona, not Arizona State
Oh,
University.
oh, oh, oh,
That
oh.
is,
So
oof.
yes, I take that back. Okay, so not the
We
Sun.
were friends before, Tony, but I
So,
don't know.
so not the Sun Devils. What is the University of Arizona? What is their mascot?
We are Wildcats like
Oh, Wildcats,
15
not the
other
Sun Devils. Okay,
universities.
my apologies to the entire gigantic school. Uh, all right. So you go to University of Arizona, get a BA in political science, actually go to law school, and then you graduate in '08, and you start at the U.S. House of Representatives. How did you end up doing insurance defense? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Your mom was so proud. What happened?
That's Tony. Shade.
I'm facetious. Oh,
Uh, no, yeah, so I did in 2008 I graduated I went to law school in Chicago. I worked in government for about
also,
13.
hold on, super quick. Where are you from originally?
I'm from a beautiful town called Rockford, Illinois, about
Oh, okay, okay,
85 miles from Chicago.
okay. Because I was gonna say, if you grew up out in Arizona, like Chicago winters would suck horribly. So you just came back home for law school. Okay, continue.
Well, I love trivia and I like to remind people that there is one snowboarding hill in Tucson, Arizona, and it's not bad.
Really?
It's not it's not Denver. It's not Colorado, but it's pretty good. They get a decent amount of snow on Mount Lemmon down in Tucson. But yeah, no, so I yeah, it's um I'm a big trivia guy, Tony. But but yeah, so I worked in government. I enjoyed my time in public service. I had a lot of opportunities, particularly as a federal prosecutor and as in the general counsel's office at the Department of Transportation. So I was able to be exposed to a lot of trial work, a lot of litigation, and a lot of um, civil legal issues. And um, I was able to successfully transition that into the private sector in terms of and at a wonderful law firm. I mean, I can't say enough about our firm and our colleagues and the wonderful work that we do. I think it is great to be fairly close to where I grew up, but to live in Chicago, the best city in the world, and to be able to practice with such wonderful colleagues at McCoy Leavitt Laskey.
Okay. Okay. So now, okay. So legislative to private practice, but why insurance?
Well, I think the insurance companies um, are really under attack right now,
Oh, without question. Yes.
and um, people don't. Everyone has insurance. Everyone needs insurance, but the juries, particularly in Cook County, um, they tend to have a negative view of the insurance companies, and particularly, and this is not just in Cook County. I mean, this is a nationwide issue. And there's that cognitive, it's a disconnect between um, the fact that everyone insurance is a public good, but then the insurance companies and a lot of juries think that they're bad. So I think the more I can do to defend the insurance company, which is also which is defending the insureds, to
Mhm.
defending corporations, it's I don't want to you know make this too serious, but the amount of companies that I've seen from either cases I've been involved with or that my colleagues have been involved with, where a company in Illinois, where I grew up, my entire life, I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, and I moved to, I went to law school in Chicago, and I live in Chicago with my wife, where companies have left or gone out of business due to lawsuits. And, this is and it's really unfortunate for the Chicago, for Illinois, because because companies create jobs, which employ people, which gives people money to have families and to be successful. And a lot of these companies are going overseas, or going to other states, which are better defense-oriented states. And it's honestly really it affects me. I take it personally, and my goal is to decrease that, to prevent those types of catastrophic losses, those large catastrophic, I call them nuclear verdicts, um, in order to increase, to make the economy better in Illinois, and to make it a better place to do business. And in my opinion, by extension, to live and work and raise a family. So
You
that's
you
kind of,
are
that's where I fall on this.
you are 1,000% correct, and of course the regular human does not understand that, right? And part of it is our fault. We do a really crappy job of explaining insurance as a social good, which it is, right? Um, and it takes years of working in the industry before you realize how good and how important insurance is for the economy. And for me, being from Costa Rica originally, and having traveled extensively around the world, there is a direct correlation, and I can't prove that it's causal, but it's a correlation for sure. More advanced economies have better insurance.
Oh
And
no, and there's no question. I mean, my my in-laws are from Venezuela, and I met them in Zurich over the holidays to celebrate the holidays with them, and you can tell that there's that is the place that everyone wants to do business. It's, the home of Zurich Insurance, obviously, and it's, America, I think, has the best insurance in the world. Um,
probably, I mean,
I sorry to cut you off,
no, no, no.
but
Yeah, go ahead.
but it's our job as defense attorneys to try to prevent those nuclear verdicts, and by extension, lower the rates of insurance
Precisely,
for
precisely, exactly. So nuclear verdicts are bad, and any payout that was not deserved, and any payout that was exaggerated, even if it didn't quite go nuclear, are bad for society in general. They basically, like juries tend to perceive insurance as faceless corporations and as endless bags of money, and they're not, right? Insurance companies don't have the printing press, right, they don't have the Fed's ability to create dollars and create inflation, um, but rather ultimately insurance companies are a group of people, companies, etc., that came together to mutually insure each other. Now they've grown well beyond that, and the what's it called, the some are stock traded, some are mutuals, etc., etc. There's many different arrangements, but ultimately my premiums are decided by the expenses that we paid out, right? And the problem is there's an agency, there's an agent principle, and not insurance agent, but the classic agent principle problem, which is the further away we get from that tradition of insurance as a mutually owned company where we know each other and we don't abuse the system because it affects us all, right? The larger the company gets, the more likely that we are to attract abuse. And I'm getting super abstract here because I'm very passionate about it, and I'm a big nerd about insurance. But yes, ultimately, you guys are
well,
kind
you're
of
talking to the
line
right
of defense,
person for that.
right? So like claims is the first line of defense, And uh, actually, like the agent is the first line of defense before a loss happens. Claims is the second line of defense. Defense attorneys are the final line of defense that prevent the truly catastrophic losses.
Yeah, well, and we'd like to get involved earlier. A lot of
Absolutely.
times, you'll see a case. I'll get a $100 million explosion in in the area, filed in Cook County, and by the time I get it, the scene has been remediated. Witness statements have been taken by the plaintiff, and we, as defense attorneys, and as claims adjusters, people in claims, we need to work together. We need to work together earlier. We need to be on the scene earlier. We need to be there within hours of the loss. When I show up to a hog farm within hours of a loss, I can remediate that claim. Not always, but
You have a
you can
chance.
remediate. You can prevent that. In that particular case, that case didn't even go into suit. That's $10 million case. It was completely averted by having the right team, experts, drones on the scene, um, and finding out the root cause of the fire explosion before the scene is remediated and the case ends up going to a suit and the lawyers get involved and you're in Cook County for 10 years. So that's why I appreciate you talking to me today. That's it sounds like, I mean, I know that we're of a like mind on these things, and that's why I enjoy talking to you about this because I think, well, that's certainly something our firm is passionate about. And then with the 24/7 response task force at CLM, we can kind of we can spread this message and also collaborate with other firms and carriers who are also focused on this and see that as the best way to prevent these nuclear verdicts.
That is fantastic. And I really hope that not only you guys figure it out locally in Chicago, but nationally. And CLM is the right place to do it, right? Where else do a large quantity of defense lawyers meet? Uh,
Defense lawyers, carriers, we all need to work together on this
yeah.
stuff. And I think this is the good first step. I think that's certainly something that we do at our firm. But I think in you know talking to carriers to make sure that you're brought in earlier to prevent these catastrophic losses because these are, I mean, this gets back to law school where it's this is a precedent, one nuclear verdict
Mhm.
leads to thousands of
Exactly,
case.
exactly. The plaintiffs are so good at creating precedents, right? And they
And
take the
following
long
it. I mean,
term.
they're good at, hey, look, I just did, you know, I got this verdict in this whatever dog bite case. So everyone else can get this or, and so I think it's important that we collaborate. I'd like to collaborate more than the plaintiff's bar. I'd like to be on the scene be, before the plaintiff's attorney. I'd like to determine the root cause of fire and explosion or whether it's an auto case or a property case. I'd like to be there first. I'd like to have my team there. I'd like to aggressively defend this case, prevent these nuclear verdicts, and then really what it comes down to is those cost savings are going to be passed on to the consumers and those businesses, which let's be honest. I mean, America is built on small businesses. Those are all small businesses in Illinois, employing people, creating jobs in Illinois, which is really the goal of what I'm doing as an insurance defense litigator and as just a corporate defense attorney as well.
Absolutely. Mike, thank you so much for your time today. This has been super interesting. I am so happy to hear that somebody in the defense space is innovating. And
Flattery will get you everywhere, Tony. Can we get another? Can we get one last magic trick?
so I don't have Anything else that works well in Zoom? But I'm always happy to do the
Yeah, I love it every time.
Cool.
All right, but call me afterwards and tell me how you did that.
Stay on the line and thanks so much for your time today.